Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The time has finally come for the USCAA fall weekend to come to a close. And then there were two. One final sport, two final programs, and 90 final minutes to be played in regulation here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, as the final championship trophy will be determined in just about 2 hours' time. I'm Rob Smith. Joining me, Jeremy Hutton in the broadcast booth for a national championship contest between the Knights of Berkeley College and the Wildcats at Johnson & Wales University, Charlotte, here in action momentarily. Jeremy, it's been a busy weekend. I'll go ahead and say it one more time. Busy is the word of the weekend for us here at the USCAA, but it has been an exciting weekend, a fun weekend, and it will come to a close here with this final contest. What are you looking forward to as we get rolling with this matchup between the Knights and the Wildcats?
One of the main things that I'm looking forward to is to see what Johnson & Wales is going to do on a repeat from last year. Last year they made it to the national championship game but ended up losing a heartbreaker in overtime at Penn State Brandywine. So they've earned their spot back in this year's national championship game. When you see what their initial response is after being back here after, again, a heartbreaking loss last year in overtime. There's a misplay by the center back. Attacker from Penn State Brandywine was able to run in there, find the back of the net, and that's what ultimately gave Brandywine the national championship. Johnson & Wales had a lot of possession in that game, but let's see what they can do this year in 2019. New year, some of the same players, some new faces out there, same coach with Matt Payne, who's still controlling this program and doing a phenomenal job with it as well.
So as we get rolling here, just a bit behind schedule, 4:15 start time here in Virginia Beach with a high of 64 and a low of 59 as this one should be concluding into the early evening hours. Away we go, and this one starts with the Knights. The Knights rocking the white uniforms top to bottom. Looks like a black or green trim. I can't quite tell. Maybe purple or silver. It's something, and it is glistening in the Virginia Beach sun. They will be going left to right, and they start the game with possession. Wearing the blue top, black shorts, and black-sleeved uniforms are the Wildcats of Johnson & Wales. Johnson & Wales coming all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. They've got, looks like yellow numbers with the white piping as well. So they're going right to left, but they don't have the ball at the moment. It'll start with an early corner kick, it seems, or a deep throw. And though it is a corner for number 7 in white, that is, not sure, I mean, must be missing 7 on my lineup. Maybe it's 2. Just can't read the lineup, but it's 7. Marcos Leon. Leon sends it in.
I'm saying this is going to be a very fast, very physical game from both one of these teams. That's their style of play. And here we go. We already have a Berkeley player breaking into the air, trying to get a shot off. Able to get the shot off, but it goes wide of frame. So we're going to restart play with a goal kick. But already 2 promising attacks for Berkeley. Yeah, the corner kick that created a decent opportunity. And then again, their player on the far side over there. But Johnson & Wales is going to put the ball into play quickly now. You see how these teams want to handle the restarts. If they're going to try and work some possession base coming out of their defensive half of the field, or more specifically their defensive third. Or if they want to try and play long, win something in the air, and get a flick on and play it out from that. And again, Johnson & Wales is going to put the ball into play on the far touchline from a throw-in. And Berkeley wants to send it right back in there. One of the players to watch out for Berkeley College, New York, is number 10, Amadou Sy, listed at 6'2", sophomore from Senegal. Certainly going to be a force out there as well. And also for Johnson & Wales, their number 10 as well, Weeb Isaac, junior from Harrisburg, North Carolina. There'll be 2 number 10s for each program out there. Going to be the gentlemen to keep their eyes on for today, because they're also the leading goal scorers for each one of their teams as well during the tournament. Amadou Sy having 2 goals so far in 2 games, and then Weeb Isaac also having 2 goals in 2 games as well. So each one of them going to be looking to go for a 3 for 3 so far, but opportunity in here for Amadou Sy.
Onside shot blocked to the right. And Johnson & Wales calling for offsides. The official telling him exactly what caused him to be on. I don't think the Wildcats were necessarily too enthused about that, as Marcos Leon goes back to take the corner kick. Second corner of the day here, 3 minutes into the contest for 42 to go in the opening half. Leon plants and sends it high. It goes to the far post, off the head, and then back off the head of the defender, out of play towards the 18. Wildcats settle down. The pace of play in this men's game already much quicker than the women's game that preceded it. Now coming down the near sideline and back into the sunlight are the Wildcats. That's number 2 in blue, Brandon Green. Green gives it up to the keeper in green. That's Dario Cruz Sepulveda. And already across midfield.
We said this in yesterday's game as well. We're going to see how the sun plays a factor as the game progresses. You can see the shadows on your screen of just how the angle that the sun is coming in at. It's going to play a definite factor for the Berkeley goalkeeper, Dario Cruz. He's looking directly into the sun right now, but also going into the second half as well for Vincent Dieppe from Johnson & Wales. Again, as that sun goes down, it's going to be looking directly into the eyes of the goalkeeper. So let's see how that plays out for the rest of this match.
We've made predictions at the beginning of matches based on the first 10 minutes or so and of these championship matches here, Jeremy, and I think we've been wrong just about every single time, so I think we'll just go ahead and forego the potential prediction based on the early play.
I'll say yesterday we called it a 3-2 game in the men's Division 1 final. Ended up being just a 1-0 match. Ended up being a great match, though. Still certainly very, very entertaining, but did not have the goals that we were expecting, so let's just see how these teams played out today.
Again, that reminder that Johnson & Wales fell. I believe it was 1-0 last year to Penn State Brandywine on what was a thrilling finish, and a misplayed header allowed Penn State Brandywine to finish it off. Probably one of the more enjoyable contests I've ever had the pleasure to call, and looking for a similar contest tonight as far as the throw factor goes. Marcos Leon has his third corner of the day.
And if you're Berkeley, this is where you got to look for your big man, Amadou Sy, number 10. He's able to get up, but gets his head on the ball, but can't put it up, redirected to put on frame.
So Vincent Dieppe for the Wildcats to get rolling once again. Dieppe rocking the all-pink uniform. Real men wear pink. Ball stays in possession of the Knights in white. Moving forward, good 1-2 touch, and then a misstep there by the Knights, and it goes back towards the Wildcats. Out of play off the foot of number 6. That is Carlos Veliz. And the Wildcats will get it back. Green. Back to Savago. Sent out of play off the foot of number 18 in blue. Uh, 19 in blue. That would be Jack Waters. That would be why I can't find him on my starting lineup sheet. Green, Waters, Lucero, Wigington, Isaac, and Savago, the midfielders and strikers for the Wildcats in blue. Geiger, Washington, Olivius Vasquez, and Tootle, the back line for the Wildcats, with Vincent Dieppe in the net. As for the Knights, Marcos Leon and Amadou Sy sitting in the front. Sy is right there. Sy's trying to bully his way through. Ends up getting through gunner Tootle. Midfielders Veliz, Verna, Sugiyama, and Mejia. And the back line, Elvenis, Pereira, number 23. That's Darino and Powis.
Saying Berkeley's dominating possession right now. We're about just over 7 minutes into the opening half. And Johnson Wales have had that one opportunity that came right down here to our left, coming near our near touchline. But so far, Berkeley's been dominating possession right now. Got to be looking at about at least 70-75% possession so far in the opening couple of minutes.
Certainly quite the opposite was the case last year for this Johnson and Wales team.
Johnson Wales able to get a touch, and they're trying to break through the back line. Looked like he was almost trying to get a little bit of a touch to Weep Isaac over on the far side again, wearing number 10 for Johnson & Wales. Great turn by Berkeley over there to leave his man on the ground. Good bit of foot skills. Clearance by the defense, but went off his own teammate, so we're going to concede the corner on the far side of the field now.
So off to the far side goes Marcos Leon. Leon to take, I think, his fourth corner, if not fifth. He takes it short, and they serve it from the far side, just beyond the realm of the 18. Clearing back to number 6, Carlos Veliz. Veliz gives it to Dario Cruz Sepulveda.
Hey, Johnson Wales hasn't really been able to get their footprint or fingerprint on the game so far. But again, here they go in opportunities, almost the same way that they created something before. Coming number 2, Brandon Green. Looks like there's going to be one of their styles of play. It's going to be trying coming over here down their left-hand side of the field. Trying to work through the width.
Shadows stretching about 19, 20 yards, regardless of height. The tallest players on the field looking for about 20-yard shadows. The sun sets towards the west end zone.
Up at number 12 for Berkeley, Anthony Mejia is now down in the far corner over there. And he was down just about a minute or so ago, just inside the penalty area, but ball got put back into play now with the next stoppage. He is down again, and that's tough to see. We're only just over 10 minutes into the first half and down and may not be able to continue. Hopefully he will be able to as a trainer makes her way across the field right now.
Certainly never know, and you certainly also don't want your players, even anyone in your starting group, to have to pulled off in the national championship game. 34 minutes and 57 seconds to go in the opening half here here with the Berkeley College of New York and JWU, Johnson and Wales University. Johnson and Wales Charlotte.
And Anthony is still down in the corner being tended to by the trainer. Head coach Strapos has made his way out there now to check on him as well. And clock is stopped with 34:57 right now. See the Johnson & Wales back line now. May not be in your picture, but doing a little bit of a huddle up right now at midfield, just kind of gathering their thoughts, going through the first couple minutes, talking about everything, doing what they've done right, what they've done wrong, what they need to improve on.
Certainly have had plenty to go over as the first 10 minutes have been dominated by the Knights. At least offensively, they've already had 4 corners in the first half. On pace for probably about somewhere between 16 and 20 if that pace continues. So he'll be helped off. That's number 12 in white, Anthony Mejia. And substitution coming on. We'll find out who that is in just a moment. Maybe 13.
I'd say 13 or 17, maybe.
Mishima Charles would be 17. We'll see when he turns around. I don't see a 13 on the roster, so 17 Charles would probably be the safest bet, and he does turn around, and it is 17 into the hands of the keeper, Cruz Sepulveda. And we continue.
An opportunity now for Berkeley on the counterattack after the quick release from the keeper. Great play, but Amadou Sy taken down in the middle of the field. Clean tackle, says the referee, and now Johnson Wales wants to go the opposite way. Now they're kicking it out to Chance Wigington. So going to tries to whip in a ball, looking for Weeb Isaac, who's on the far post. There's also number 3, Sean Geiger, that was making his run to the middle of the goal. So 2 early options for there. And now Geiger is going to be thrown in. Looks like he's going to be doing a deep throw. Wildcats treating this like a set piece. You have a guy that can drop it inside the penalty area like that. You pretty much always do. And now they're able to get a corner kick out of it. Ooh.
Not quite, just a deep, deep throw in. And again, Geiger with the throw. Geiger's going to use all the space allotted to him. Throws that ball up. It bounces back towards Cruz Sepulveda. Ball back.
And Berkeley trying to work it through number 23, Jordan Gardy. Now he's able to get a touch, knock it back to his teammate. So again, Marcus Leon. Now long ball over the top plate to Amadou Sy. He remains onside. He had 3 Johnson Rose players on him. Opportunity if he can get it to his teammate on the far side. It's going to fall to him. Can he get the shot off? He does.
Whew.
But hits it straight at the goalkeeper. It was a good opportunity, but really didn't put his foot behind that. We'll give him the break of Charles. He did just come onto the field, so maybe not fully warmed up. Still mentally getting prepared for the game.
Here comes the counter option for the Wildcats. Wildcats get it back. Number 10, Weeb Isaac. And they lose it. Coming into no man's land goes the ball.
And service into the box, looking for Geiger. Keeper comes out and collects that easily. Let's see what his options are. Decides to go for the big boot. Looking for Amadou Sy.
Sy gets called on the foul there.
Yeah, pretty much pushed the guy up. I don't think he was really meaning to do it, but just in the turn of the process, had his arms out.
It was Olivas Vasquez. That's Alberto Olivas Vasquez getting knocked down.
Now Geiger trying to make the run into the box, but Chance Wigington in there to help him out. Again, service coming in from Weeb Isaac on the far side.
.31 minutes to go here in the first half of action between Johnson & Wales, Charlotte, and Berkeley College, New York.
So Johnson & Wales coming into this game is 1-1. They get a win in their first match of the tournament against Penn State Beaver 3-1, and ended up losing to Berkeley, New Jersey on the following day 3-2 in overtime. And now we're facing off against Berkeley, New York here right now. And New York, in order to make it to the national championship game, defeated Southern Maine Community College by a score of 1-0, and then defeated Penn State Brandywine 2-0 to get to the national championship. So Berkeley is yet to concede a goal here in the tournament. So if Johnson Wales is able to get the first one, let's see how this back line reacts to actually conceding that first goal.
So Berkeley not conceding a goal, and they Also did Johnson and Wales the pleasure of taking down their foe in Penn State Brandywine. That ball ricochets high. Man, would that have been a game again to see Penn State Brandywine against here Johnson and Wales, but unfortunately for Brandywine, they fell to the Knights, and now Johnson and Wales has an opportunity to come forward. They do. Opportunity to shoot. They shoot, and the save is made, bobbled by Dario Cruz Sepulveda. But he does make the save.
I say Johnson Wills getting a little bit more control in this game, being able to create a couple more opportunities. But again, a lot of what we're seeing so far in the first opening couple of minutes is everything coming down their left-hand side of the field. Now Berkeley will get the throw deep into the Johnson Wills territory. And somebody to watch out on all these set pieces is number 10, Amadou Sai.
Ball forward now. Ooh, and a dangerous touch there.
So
Not necessarily dangerous in the sense of giving up to the other team, but certainly could have rolled an ankle.
So yeah, that's a play right there that you could see and definitely see him going down, suffering a knock, twisting an ankle on that one. Luckily, he seems to be okay.
Ball coming in off sides is the call. Goes back to Johnson and Wales.
Ball bounced around in the midfield looking for a team to get some kind of possession on there. Sai able to swing it out wide over here to Charles. Charles tries to go for the meg, has no success with it, but is able to win his team a throw-in. Throw-in taken. Leon tries to get the return. And Charles plays it just a little bit too far behind him and gives up possession back to Johnson and Wales, who now is going to go big with it. Wigington with a big clearance, which sends it right back to the Berkeley back line. Now Berkeley wants to go far with it. The two players go for the ball. Good communication on who should have taken that one. Now Amadou Sai finds himself right around the near post.
Ball out of play and a goal kick given to Dieppe.
You got 26:40 remaining here in the first half. Still 0-0 between Johnson and Wales Charlotte and Berkeley College New York. You see the shadows are almost disappearing from the sun. Now we see the shadows from some of the artificial lighting that we've turned on now here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. It's a beautiful day out here in Hampton Roads. Looking across into a nice open field, clear sky. See two planes flying over right now. Quite peaceful up here in the press box. We know down there in the field it is getting warm down there.
Ball forward now into the box. Opportunity to win a corner. Doesn't look like they're going to do much else with that if they can win a corner. And a bicycle kick away from a goal there. Unfortunately, unable to read it that quickly was Darino.
Geiger now on the far side of the field, able to draw two Berkeley defenders and draw the foul. There's a ball done by him. Realized he really had nowhere to go, was able to draw some contact and give his team some relief. Get them to push up the field a little bit. Now they got the free kick just inside the Berkeley attacking half. Now Gunnar Tootle comes over. He's going to take the kick. Looks like he may want to go short. But waves Geiger along, so it looks like he wants to serve this one into the box as well. Johnson Wales has 5 players at the top of the box, and then Geiger on the far side over there. Good service in. Great service in.
An opportunity for the Wildcats.
That ball was hit on a line directly into the penalty area.
It doesn't really look like either team has controlled momentum the first 10 minutes. Certainly towards the Knights, the Wildcats have not necessarily come all the way back, but they've kind of regained some of the momentum. And at least for the first 20 minutes of the contest, these teams seem pretty even. Certainly feels that way as Cruz Sepulveda comes in to take a free kick about 32 yards away from the baseline, and he'll just boot it onwards to his defender to get things going. Turnover there turns into a 3-on-4 situation. That ball is shot on, and a great save made by Cruz Sepulveda. Put that ball just a little bit higher, and that's an empty net goal.
You say good awareness from Weeb Isaac on the far side to recognize the keeper was out, recognizing that, hey, if I put this in the air, I'm going to put him in an awkward scenario. But keeper does well to get his body readjusted and make the save. Puts it out for a corner kick.
So corner kick coming from the outside. Ball rocking up on the set piece. Bounced away, and they'll be able to resend it on the cross. That ball now sent in, and it'll have to be relegated to a throw. Thrown in by number 5. That's Chance Wigington. Wigington now continues to win the ball back for his team. And some substitutions here for Jay Wu. Two new bodies on. That's 7 in blue and 20, it looks like, in blue. Ball up.
Yeah, that is number 20. Zachary Savage is now checked into the game as well.
Certainly can't miss Savage. He's got more lettuce than the bowl can contain. Might be a Head and Shoulders model for all I know. That ball up, looking for the excellent salad of Savage.
Quick release from the keeper now.
Another opportunity for the Knights to get rolling, and through ball that misses, and an onside good through ball is, they could switch it or they could just bring it all the way up, and not sure why, but there's a wide open man on the far side. I believe that's Isaac.
Yeah, he's been staying out there. He's been keeping his heels on the chalk line out there, really trying to stretch this and really create some gaps in that Berkeley back line.
Seems like way too much patience shown there. A little more offensive aggression, I think that could have resulted in at least an opportunity here, Jeremy.
Yeah, he definitely got kind of caught between two worlds there of what he wanted to do. He heard Isaac calling on the far side, but also saw his teammate right here that had a decent opportunity to make a run. I think ultimately just kind of waited too long and ultimately made the wrong choice.
21 minutes and change to go in the opening half. Ball up side, now have an opportunity. Goalie comes in and just punches it away. Those are always dangerous plays as a forward striker coming in and the goalie gifting his body to the game.
Yeah, it certainly is, and he hesitated for a moment on there too, wondering whether or not his defender was going to be able to get to there first. But even with the hesitation, still able to come out and make the play, but he did give up the rebound in the process. Now a foul committed by Johnson of Wales on the near touchline.
Great officiating crew here for us this weekend. Cycling through a number of referees. All of them have done a phenomenal job. Certainly not an easy game to have to call.
Say Johnson Wales player is trying to get cheeky with it. So I just pick up the ball and see if you could throw it in, see if nobody was going to notice.
Ball in play, and Sent beyond.
Now we have the opportunity. Isaac going long down the touchline.
And that ball ends up out of play as well. So really using all angles of the field. Game starting to stretch towards the paint on the outside, right by the technical area. Might make more sense to move things the opposite direction, stretch the field the other way, and they'll try to do that there. Unfortunately, unable to. There goes Mr. Savage. Ball up, and Isaac is onside on the outside. Isaac's got the speed and gets taken down. The official gives the corner. I think Weeb Isaac won into goal kick, but going to take the corner will be Savage.
And that was a great switch by the Wildcats. Hit the ball all the way out there to Isaac. Makes a great run cutting inside the penalty area, but defender makes an even better tackle to put the ball out of play. If he would have been a half a second later on that challenge, could have been looking at a penalty kick decision.
Savage now, here on the set piece. Throws that one up in the air, a good one, but right there in line with the base and out of play for a goal kick.
It's another one off the football uprights. There are about 7 or 8 of those over the past 2 days.
I'll say if I had $1 for every time a ball hit one of those uprights, I'd be fed. Maybe not well, but I'd be fed. This Johnson and Wales team continuing to defend. That ball shot on in the back of the net. They score. Officials say it's good. Number 10, Amadou Sai, puts the first goal of the day in the back of the net with 17 minutes and 48 seconds to go. 1-0 our score.
Yep, and Sai just used his size on that play, able to hold off the defender Elijah Washington, the 6'4" center back, sophomore from Japan. Just got out-muscled on that play.
Not sure who had the assist, but whoever sent that ball in was a beautiful ball in. We've got 17 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the half, and
Johnson Wales also took that time to make a sub. It's like number 6, Imani Washington, just checked into the match. Now he's going to go into left back. We're in the number 6 tonight. Now let's see what Berkeley wants to do. Now that they have this 1-goal lead, can take their foot off the gas just a little bit, but certainly don't want to give Johnson Wales an opportunity to regain momentum and find them back in the net themselves and maybe a second one.
Ball's going to bounce around, and Isaac will look for it. Ends up in favor of the team from Brooklyn.
Referee sees something he didn't like over there. Pops a flag, center referee agrees with him, gives the foul. Okay, so are going to have the original taker on there.
Tootle now to the sideline to gear up for it.
I say he served in the first ball from this angle and put in a great ball. He does virtually the same on the second one as well.
Perfectly placed. They just need somebody a little bit taller, somebody with a bit more height advantage to jump.
I say they're looking for Elijah Washington wearing number 4, the center back. He's listed at 6'4". But when you see him standing next to Amadou Sa, I think that both might be looking at a 6'3". They're pretty equal in the height department. But Amadou's side definitely has probably another 20, 30 pounds on him.
What about the swole department, Jeremy?
See, that's the information, the numbers that we do not have. Let's see the bench press and what's their actual weight on these
The
guys.
intangibles, the 40 time. Guys should be doing a combine before these tournaments.
So we got the football markings in our field. We can do our own little 40 test up here. Wait for the next long ball and time them out.
Tell you what, Gailey yesterday, watching him play, he had some speed on him.
100%. You can see the pace that he would close in on defenders with. There'd be a 5-yard gap when they start the run, and he would finish the run. He'd be 2 yards in front of him.
Aggressive foul there played by the Wildcats, and I think they know that this college from Berkeley. They've got some pretty stingy defense, and a second goal may be an Everest-like mountain to overcome with less than 60 minutes left to go in this game. Free kick to be taken probably about 20-ish yards away from the baseline, just beyond the outer edge of the box. Everyone will come in.
And this is set up for a righty to try and curl this one near post. See what they want to do.
They try to do just that and just couldn't put it on frame.
It looked like Leon was the one taking the hit for Berkeley. Brought over a secondary kick taker, had him run over the ball, caused a little bit of distraction for the keeper, but couldn't put the free kick on frame. As we see Chance Wigington exit the game for Johnson of Wales.
Ball sent away. All the way across midfield. Passing around now to the near side and down the sideline. Out of play. Off the Wildcats, and the Knights will return serve. Now looking for some speed. Instead, they'll just continue to work their way down the field, down the sideline. In a near-like game of Pong. There's Carlos Veliz. Veliz will put it in about 45 yards away. Now that ball into the box. A foul called. The clock will stop, and I imagine a card is coming. It's just a matter of to whom it will be given. And that is to Sai, I believe.
Yep, that is correct. Referee saw something in that sequence of now it's 2 off-the-ball fouls that Amadou has committed. Referee says that we're not going to have any more of that. Next one could be your last one. And Sai using his size to his advantage, which you certainly cannot blame him for, but
I was wondering if that was going to be a Johnson and Wales foul. Oh, it bounced right off the tick. And out of play.
the ball does go out of play over there on the far touch. Moment of a little bit of indecisiveness amongst the players, whether or not to know if they needed to keep playing through that. Referees decided did go out and get the correction.
Johnson and Wales certainly would like an equalizer in the next 12 or so minutes. Ball up in the air.
Heads it straight into the middle of the field.
That one through the uprights. And back towards the pavilion. Ball back in play. Off the head of Savage. Continues to bounce around before finally landing at the foot of a Wildcat.
Bad touch by Green from Johnson of Wales gives away possession. Sends it right back to Berkeley for a throw-in.
Wildcats know that it's going to take some serious offense to get back into this one. They'll have to score, which Even one goal would be more than Berkeley has given up at all this weekend. At this point, it'll take 2 or 1 and some serious defense to get themselves to kicks from the mark, as Jeremy Hutton would say. Famously not penalty kicks, as no penalty was assessed.
Correct. It's called kicks from the mark process. It's the official in me.
It's called penalty kicks, PKs. It's the broadcaster in me. Go to PKs. Either way, it's the same process, but we've got plenty of time before we even get close to needing to mention penalty kicks or kicks from the mark.
I have to say, compared to some of the other games, this first half has gone by rather quickly with only 10 minutes to go here. Still only 1-0 for Berkeley, New York, but each team has been able to create a couple of opportunities. Right now, Berkeley is the only one that's been able to find the back of the net. That's giving them the advantage right now. Charles showing a bit of footwork over here to our right. Now Villanueva going to bring it off the chest, try and hold it up for his team. Green comes through and tries to win the challenge, but ends up just kicking it directly out of play. Now Leon bringing it down to the right-hand side, tries to serve it in looking for Amadou Sai. That side curl just run just a little bit too much, and the ball too direct towards the keeper. He's able to easily collect that one. It's a good foot on it there. And here goes Villanueva on the far touchline. Good open field tackle from Johnson of Wales. It was number 19, Jack Waters. Did well to stand his ground and let the defender, or the attacker, literally play the ball right off him. Interesting choice there to go for Villanueva on the touchline rather than going to Weeb Isaac in the middle. It might have been a little bit of a better opportunity to get something to him. Find Isaac in the middle, allow him to open up his hips and keep looking over here for Green. We're number 2 directly in front of us. Because a lot of attack has been running through Green over here.
Under the 10-minute mark now, 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half of action of our final contest of the weekend here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, at the Virginia Beach Sports Complex. USCAA Division II men's soccer action coming at you live at the time. I'm Rob Smith, Jeremy Hutton in the booth. 1-0 our score between the Knights of the Berkeley College of New York from New York, New York. City so nice they named it twice. And they're playing against the Wildcats from Charlotte, North Carolina as the clock stops, and I would imagine another card to come out this time to number 7 in blue. That is Chris Garcia, I believe, for a little tug.
A free kick from this distance, it's a little far to have a hit with.
I believe it was 7. Might have been 2. I don't see Green out there. There he is. So it must have been 7. Chris Garcia.
Now Leon does the run over this time. Ball served in for Berkeley. We get a head on there, but looks like it's going to be a goal kick, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So Berkeley changing up the free kick rotation. Leon took the first one, decided to run over it on the second one and allow his teammate to serve in this ball. Savage able to control, knock it to his teammate.
Come back around. Now back forward to Garcia. Garcia. Bad touch from Garcia to looking for number 6, Imani Washington, and the frustration continues to build for Johnson and Wales from Charlotte. And you've got to imagine after many of these guys played in this same game last year, losing in heartbreaking fashion, looking at the score now and knowing it's going to take some serious offense to win this game, the frustration may be mounting should they go into the half with a 0-1 deficit.
Yeah, but they do need to remain calm, though. Like we talked about before, a long way to go in this match. And they kept the game last year, like you said, all the way 0-0 until overtime, where Brandywine was able to get the eventual national championship game winner. Opportunity now for Berkeley. Serves it into the box. Going to fall for another shot. Player completely misses on the swing. Johnson was able to clear their lines for a little bit, but it's going to be coming right back in their direction. Leon on the far side now.
T. Charlie Varna was the one who swung and missed. Could have had a second goal of the day. Cy now back to T. Charlie Varna. Varna now puts it up and a rocket high and off the post. Off the crossbar and back. Another opportunity again gets punched away. The opportunity is still not over. And Vincent Dieppe not happy with the way his defenders are playing. Didn't block that one at all. And just shy of a second goal today for the Knights. Ooh.
See, that was a great hit from Berkeley. Great hit. Hit crossbar and the opportunity. Could be 2-0 right now. But keeper does well to get back up for the second opportunity. Make sure that there is not a second goal. And Johnson Wales stays alive for a little bit longer right now, with under 5.5 to go. Like Rob was saying before, if there was that second one for Berkeley, that would be a tall, tall mountain to climb right there for Johnson and Wales. But at the moment, still 1-0. Garcia serves it in. Cruz Sepulveda able to collect. Hits his hands, let it bounce to the ground. One time is able to collect it up on the second opportunity. Berkeley look like they have somebody up at the line for a substitution at their next opportunity.
4 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first half of action. That ball to the far side, I imagine Savage might be. No, it's not Savage. Well, Savage is on sides, but so is Gunnar Tootle. Here comes the replacements.
So, and Charles is going to exit the game now after he came in. And it looks like Jonathan Russell enters the match for Berkeley College.
Tootle now. And the Wildcats are going to continue to try and build pressure, build momentum. All that to say they should consider themselves lucky to be in this game to begin with after going 1-1 in pool play, only getting in on goal differential. Certainly could be headed home already, so they've got to continue to fight for their lives.
See a great first-time ball zipped across the turf. Tootle moves over and able to smother that out.
Ball is sent up into the box. A good first touch, and second goes down. Cy is not able to receive it, but they'll hold on to the ball in the closing moments here of the first half. Opposite direction they go when the foot race ensues, and it'll be a one-man race at the end, ultimately going out of play for a Knights throw deep in their own territory. So the sun setting in the west end zone, the moon rising in the east end zone. As slowly but surely the day and afternoon begin to give way to the early evening and nightfall. You truly could not ask for a more beautiful evening as the sun reflects off some wispy clouds in the distance. Oranges, pinks, and purples, depending on whether you're looking to the right or the left. Moon hidden behind some clouds. Sun hidden beyond the horizon. Another opportunity for the Knights. They calm it down. They keep it in play. Very close there. That ball bounces around some more. Pinballs within the 18 and now finally cleared with 1:50 to go in the half. A tackle there and gonna be a yellow at least. Yellow given to number 6 in white. That is Carlos Veliz. And Veliz had some choice words there for Brandon Green as he walked away. And I'm sure he's got to be careful as to avoid getting a second card now from this point on. So Tootle, with the clock stopping because of the card, now has ample time to work his way all the way across the field, 70 yards from where he was, to reset this up. He'll evaluate the situation, certainly has the leg to put it from midfield on. And I believe the official's going to ask him to put it back where he wants it, and he's going to retouch it. Tootle's not happy with where the officials asked him to put it, but he'll try again. And now plants and throws. Ball is up. It bounces off one. Now Tootle's going to have to come and collect. He'll throw the ball in now. He needs a quick throw and does get it in. Now to the near side. And a free opportunity for the Wildcats. Ball passed in. And ricochets out. It was number 10, Weeb Isaac, on the near side as he switched sides now. And Tootle will have to throw the ball back in. Tootle will look for Isaac. Isaac being double teamed, and they've won themselves a corner, I believe. Some of the officials sees exactly what we did, and Tootle will now have to work his way continuing down the sideline for a corner kick. All of that only took about 25 seconds, and now we've got a minute to go in the half. So Tootle now sets up for the set piece.
And Johnson and Wells is crowding the goal line. They have 5 individuals, one on each post. They basically said to each one of the Berkeley defenders, we're going to mark you as well.
Ball is up, and it stays in play. It continues to bounce around, and I can't believe why. And now the counterattack comes, trying to stay on sides is Cy. Cy was off sides initially, and that's why the ball never got sent that way. And Tootle somehow goes all the way down from sideline to sideline, baseline to baseline, and ends up getting a free kick because of the foul that he earned. And the great hustle there from Tootle to keep this one where it is 1-0. 20 seconds left in the half. I imagine unless something crazy happens and he starts right at this very moment that we won't score, and he'll take his sweet time reinserting this one into play. 10 seconds to go in the half, and that will just about take us to the half. 5 seconds now. Halftime score here in Virginia Beach. The Knights take a 1-0 lead off the foot of Amadou Sy in the 28th minute. A couple of cards being doled out from sideline to sideline, but we have got a score at the half, 1-0 in favor of the Knights from Berkeley College, New York. Johnson and Wales has got some work to do and some adjustments to make, and we'll see what head coach Matt Payne can do with his Wildcats in the second half. Rob Smith, Jeremy Hutton here, taking a 15-minute break. We'll be right back. You're watching USCAA National Championship Soccer action live from the Virginia Beach Sports Complex. And welcome back to Virginia Beach for what is the final 45 minutes of regulation here in the USCAA National Championship Division II Men's Tournament. That is a mouthful. Johnson and Wales, the Wildcats, were in the blue, going left to right here. An opportunity early. Savage, and he almost puts that one in the back of the net. Dangerous, dangerous chance to get the half underway. The Knights in white going right to left. The Wildcats left to right here in the second 45. Already an injury, I'm not sure whom. But we are underway in the second half of action. First half, only goal on the board came from number 10, Amadou Sai, in the 28th minute of action. Johnson and Wales going to need at least one goal to equalize. The Knights looking for at least one to really put the nail in the coffin, and certainly the way this weekend has gone for the Knights. One more certainly would put you in a spot where you feel confident that you may not need to score again. The one-goal lead is certainly a dangerous lead, and the Wildcats, variety of cats in action. The Wildcats, the feline in question at the moment, certainly have plenty to threaten, and that one's in the back of the net off a defensive miscue, and Sai has two. Caught everybody off guard, including myself.
Yeah, keeper tried to clear it, kicked it directly off Amadou's side. Went right back to him, went right between his hands and into the back of the net. So now it is 2-0 Berkeley College of New York with 43:52 remaining in the second half. Again, against the run of players here so far in the second, Johnson Wales just had an opportunity 25 seconds ago at the opposite end of the field. But now we wait just a few more seconds, and now it's Berkeley, New York, 2-0. Just like Rob was saying, a second goal could be a dagger. Now referee taking a quick opportunity to check with one of the players just to make sure he's okay. But just a freak play there. You have to feel for Johnson and Wales and their keeper and their back line on that one.
Virtually unacceptable. You can't let that happen if you're the Wildcats.
Yeah, especially this early into the second. Again, we're 43:52 remaining. Referee going over to have a conversation with the Johnson and Wales bench and Matt Payne. Not sure exactly what's going on over there.
I think they were given a card. In the 47th minute here. I'm not sure why, but it did look like the official pulled out a card. I'm not 100% sure, though. I could be wrong. At the very least, he went to have a conversation with him, and again, we're 120 yards away from where it happened, and those cards are, what, 3 by 5 at best. So now, if it does turn out to be a card, I'm going to go ahead and send that clip to my optometrist, let him know that I'm good. I don't need to come in for another checkup.
Yeah, but I'm good for another year. Good for next fall championship week. So I'll see what Johnson and Wales can do here. Now down 2 goals. An opportunity now. Ooh, ball looked a little promising on that one. Amadou Sai gave up a little early on that. But he might have an opportunity to break through there, at least get into the foot chase.
I think at this point, all that's left to be had in the contest with 42 minutes to go is an Amadou Sai hat trick, which would certainly be something.
So he did well in the first one, took advantage of the opportunity on the second one with a little bit of luck on there, but yeah, now he's got 42 minutes to find the back of the net a third time. And score a hat trick in the national championship game.
He also has a yellow card, so
That is a fair point as well.
if he manages to somehow get the hat trick and the red, you could call it a triple-double.
I'm gonna do only a sophomore, so still got 2 more years of schooling. So hopefully this will be the beginning of a illustrious career for him in USA Fall Championship week. Certainly if they win today and do bring home the trophy, they'd love to come back next year and go for the double. We did have that on the women's Division II side of University of Cincinnati Claremont bringing home the title for the 2nd consecutive year. So congratulations to the Cougars for their win earlier today.
This is just the 2nd year of Division II action at the USCAA. So Claremont's the only Division II champion that women's soccer has seen in the USCAA. Now, Division II will see a new men's champion as Penn State Brandywine fell to this Berkeley College team. And, Berkeley's well on its way to upending the former national champion and the former runner-up on their way to doing so. So if you want to be the best, certainly you've got to beat the best, and so far they have done just that in this tournament.
And that'd be pretty impressive to do that all within a 4-day span as well. Taking down Johnson and Wales right now in the championship game, but then had the result against Penn State Brandywine earlier.
Possession building here.
Weeb Isaac with a bit of skill, able to keep the ball in play. Referee thought about it for a second and then decides to take that one. On one of the first one, referee said no, then he goes and commits his infraction immediately after that. Now at this point, Johnson and Wales is throwing more bodies forward.
All but 3 are prepared for the set piece lined up on the 18. Toodle up. Finds the bodies. It bounces around, now continuing to rally around. Weeb now Isaac. Someone off the defender for a blue man corner.
After a mile service by number 23, Toodle, the way he drives that ball into the top of the penalty area, you know what he's trying to do, and it looks like he's always trying to look for number 4, Elijah Washington, at the top of the box. So they've done it on 2 or 3 different occasions now.
Corner up. It's going to the far post. Not sure who they were looking for. But ends up out of bounds and halfway up the hill. So I haven't seen any overtime games in the championship rounds, Division I or Division II, and it will take a Johnson and Wales hike up the mountain to do so, to force so. And some aggressive play there, and I think they're just going to let it go.
So that's well done on both teams. Good physical play on both sides. Referee definitely could have called the foul there, but hey, decided against it, let the guys battle it out. It is a national championship game.
Going to earn the hat trick. You're going to earn the hat trick. It's not just going to be given to you.
I mean, he was gifted the second goal, so we'll make him work for that third one, right?
Certainly so. Hat trick is a hat trick, regardless of how you get it.
Good skill there from the center back, but eventually one too many touches and ends up losing it.
And here comes another opportunity. Here come the Knights. Ball is lost. It's settled and scooped up by the defender, Elijah Washington. Ball in the possession of the Wildcats.
Green tries to take it down the touchline, but runs out of room over there, runs out of real estate. Berkeley with the throw.
So far, the Knights have really taken this Wildcat team and virtually domesticated them. They haven't done a whole lot, have the Cats. Going from wild to mere house cats at this point, unable to garner any kind of offense as Savage picks up the foul. And really, one great chance here in the half. This potentially could be a second opportunity. He's about 30 yards away from the goal. And a relatively straight shot. Looks to be right on. So they'll have to continue to push these guys back. 10-yard difference required, I believe. And with the football lines out there, it's no question about where they need to be standing.
No, it becomes pretty simple at this point. You can point to the line and tell them to get back to exactly where they need to be.
There's no cheating the line either. That ball is up, and great save there by Dario Cruz Sepulveda of the Knights. Puts it away for a Wildcat corner, but certainly could have been in the back of the net, and that would have brought life to this Wildcat team.
It was, and that was a good hit as well, but an even better save.
Ball up, comes another chance, ends up back towards the 18. Tootle high and off the pavilion, the face of the pavilion.
I think you're still feeling himself a little bit from that last free kick. Wanted to have a go at it, but did not find the success on that one that he did on the first attempt.
35 minutes to go here. Berkeley, New York. Still trying to work through a 2-goal lead. All headed away. A foul is called late. Not sure who the foul is called. They'll instantly call on the trainer. It seems like every one of these stoppages has occurred about as far away as possible from these trainers. So they're making the long haul hike across an already wide field. And they will tend to their wounded. Just about, we might as well say an even 35 minutes to go in this contest. A 2-0 game, and it's Berkeley College, New York 0, Amadou Sy 2, and the Wildcats 0. It's really the Amadou Sy show today.
Yeah, it really has been. He got lucky on the second one, but he did good work on the first one to open up the scoring for today's game. Still looking for that hat trick, though, but still got plenty of time. Like Rob said, 35 pretty much even to go here in the second half. Right now we're at the stoppage due to a potential head injury for a Berkeley player.
You take Sy out of this game, and you're looking at a 0-0 game. Certainly could be 1-1 either way, depending on, without Sy. That he also has a defensive presence for this Knight team. Certainly Johnson and Wells, I would imagine, if Sy somehow ends up out of the game with a red, could take advantage of that lack of height. But for now, it's the 2-goal differential from Sy that puts the Knights over the Wildcats. And that ball's courtesy put back to Johnson and Wales. Switching the field now. Ball forward. Sitting down and pushing it back to switch again, and the defense continues to adjust. Tootle back inside.
So it does look like Johnson has gone to a 3-back system now. They pulled one out of the back line and shifted him into the midfield. The referee's going to stop play here for, it looks like, another caution.
He gives the caution to number 19. That is Matthew Pereira here in the 56th minute. So that's now the third card for the Knights. As far as I know, the Wildcats have 2. I'm still not confirmed on that one from the bench. Ball is up. It's through everybody and into the hands of the keeper, Cruz Sepulveda.
Taking his time putting the ball back into play, decides to put it back down on the carpet and send it upfield. Amadou Sy wins the flick.
Ball will ricochet off some bodies before Tootle rejects that ball out of play.
A substitution now for Berkeley College. Going off at number 8 is Jonathan Russell. Looks like Charles is going to re-enter the game for the Knights. He made an appearance for about 15-20 minutes in the first half. Now get another opportunity here in the second. And immediately finds himself on the ball. Great little give and go to Leon.
Great save there.
Keeper does well to get that out away from goal off frame. Still hasn't completely gotten rid of the pressure yet, as Berkeley College still has a throw in the Johnson & Wales defensive third. And got the flick, and then Johnson & Wales to get a decent foot on there for a clearance as Washington. Again, Johnson & Wales plays it forward, trying to clear their lines, but nobody there. So Berkeley College will recycle it, go back home, and take a few more seconds off the clock. Leon trying to show some skill on the far sideline over there, but just wins a throw-in.
32 minutes and 7 seconds to go.
And two Johnson & Wales players get tangled up with one another.
You can tell Amadou Sy wants that ball sent to him. He's kind of growing complacent here on the far side. Up 2-0 with 2 goals. Hard to be complacent. But the body language says it all, coming back down the other way. And a foul there. Official says, please, for love of all that is good, no more of that. Waves him off. And he's continuing to chirp, and I think if he continues anymore, he may get a card.
I think that's number 6, Carlos Velez, who may already have one, so.
He absolutely does. Carlos Velez already does have one picked in the 32nd minute, which is why I think there was some leniency there. And the free kick will come.
Yeah, referee pretty much gave him his final warning on that one. You saw the hand gestures of telling him to pretty much cut it out and be smart from here on out. Still a long way to go, 30 minutes to go. Already on a booking.
Ball is up and just a bit aggressive there from Tootle. Now that was Savage on the outside. Into the final half hour of the contest now. 2-0 our score in favor of the Knights. Amadou Sy with a goal in the 28th, and then 19 minutes later in the 47th.
Isaac trying to take somebody on. Gets a lucky bounce with it, tries to get it into the box, able to find a teammate off a slight deflection.
Wildcats have certainly had their fair share of chances. Official plays on, and they never do call offsides, but I think Savage may have been just a touch off.
If he could spread it out, would have had a good opportunity if he would have been able to get it on the far side of the field, going over to Green. But instead tried to cut it back in, lost possession.
Going towards the west end zone now. We are completely into the night. as there is no more color in the sky. And with nothing around the Virginia Beach Sports Complex, there is quite literally no other light than some cell phone towers in the distance.
Weeb Isaac doesn't look like he's cramping in the hamstring. If not called the trainer on the field, they're saying they could just be a simple cramp, where it looked like he's being stretched by his teammate.
Quite a number of stoppages for injuries here in this game. Not sure if there's any better way to prevent injuries like that, but we've got 29 minutes and 16 seconds to go. And you'd imagine Johnson and Wales, if they want to stay in this one, have got to score in probably the next 15 or so minutes, just based on the way this one has been played.
Yeah, they do need to get one sooner rather than later to keep this match competitive. Right now, they're still in it, but as this time continues to dwindle down, the opportunities for them are going to get smaller and smaller and less. As Weeb Isaac makes his way across the field and is going to go off. Looks like Johnson Wells brings back on number 3, Sean Geiger.
Outside now, back to the middle. Ball hops around for a moment.
Good movement there by Johnson and Wales. They would get a little bit of space and now go for the big switch.
The ball is up, bounces at the 18. And they want a handball, and the official says no. Savage can't believe it.
Even if you think it could be a handball, you still got to continue to play, though. But both players literally just stop right there and turn around and look at the official. So Johnson had us up at the line, but wanted to go quick.
The foul called. Now for the Knights, they have probably got to think, looking at the clock with 27 minutes and 53 seconds, it's just a burning clock at this point. Still 1/3 of the game to go, but not a whole lot of... Clock stops again. And the official recognizes that even 30 minutes left in the game, it's a long time out for the official to be stopping clock for stalling, but that's exactly what we're seeing. So, officials already on to the Knights here. Don't expect them to burn any more clock than the official will allow them to. Comes another chance. Out of the far side, the Wildcats are wilding. Unable to get there in time. Pulling it back in are the Knights. Now with it on the far side, maintaining possession out there. And an aggressive, heavy touch to Vincent Dieppe. Dieppe, who certainly has had plenty of opportunities to showcase his skills today.
He's had a couple of good saves, a couple times coming out of the box, coming off quick off the line. So he has done well in today's match, but would like the one freebie that he gave away for the second goal. And that's going to be the play that's going to be sticking in his brain for the rest of the day.
I feel like if you're Dieppe, you almost would rather lose this game 2-0, knowing that no matter what he did today, there wasn't much he was going to be able to do to win this game against the better keeper in Dario Cruz Sepulveda. So he's made several great saves so far today. You lose this one 2-1, and that mistake early in the second half is going to eat you up.
Oh yes. But like you said before, Cruz has made that great save off the free kick earlier in the second half. So He's had chances to show himself as well, and right now it's proven to be a little bit of the better keeper.
There was a chance and a misplay by Charlie Verna. I think the direct quote from the field from Amadou Sy was, "Why you do that?" And cleared. That one stays in play.
And that one's going to ride the touchline. It's not going to leave the field. Good awareness by Johnson Wales to know that was not going to leave the field. Could have let that one ride, let a Berkeley player run onto it. Good awareness, though. Now a big ball coming. And they get it. They like those plays. They're trying to beat the guy, but they also have the opportunity to spread it out wide, which they don't really do in all the scenarios. They do like to try and beat the guy and create something from there, but they might find a little bit more success by just knocking it first. Don't worry about the individual talent. Show them the team talent. Show them the ball movement. As soon as I say that, Johnson Wales starts knocking it around a little bit better.
I can hear you.
Should start coaching or something then.
Yeah, it's got to be a yellow. A step on the head, maybe even a red. So walk to have a conversation with the fourth official. Is that a coach up there?
No, that is fourth official. He stepped onto the field to have a conversation with the head referee. Obviously, fourth official saw something that he wasn't in favor of and wants to let the center referee know.
So I'm not sure who.
It's going to be booking, looks like, for number 3, Sean Geiger of Johnson Wales. Showing a yellow card with a clock stopped at 24:29 in the second half. Maybe it would have been for that tackle or something a little bit afterwards. Either way, he is showing the card now. But then both players go and shake hands, so no hard feelings between that. We'd love to see that. And there was a lot on the line with the national championship game, but always good to see sportsmanship amongst the opponents.
24 minutes and change, 24 and a half to be exact. Left in this one. An aggressive tackle, nowhere near the ball. Slows the progress of Tootle.
Great ball over the top,
Pushing
though.
forward. Here comes another chance. And just misplayed there by Brandon Green and gets cleared away. But a good chance for Brandon Green. But
So that was good awareness to put the ball down and play it quick. He had a couple bodies in front of him, but good vision to see the run by Green about 60 yards away.
Wildcats have been close several times today, Jeremy. But unfortunately, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And soccer is not one of those.
Nope,
so
no, it is not. You got to execute in soccer. Got to execute.
Here comes Sy as an opportunity for the hat trick. He puts it away, and there it goes. 1, 2, 3 for Amadou Sy. That's a hat trick and an absolute dagger for the Berkeley College of New York Knights. And what a game for Amadou Sy.
Yep, and that completes his 3-goal hat trick for tonight. 1 in the first and now 2 in the second, with still 23-28 remaining. So now it makes the score 3-0 in favor of Berkeley, New York. And now things look a little bit more promising, if not almost solidified, from the Knights of New York to win this national championship. But Johnson Wales is not going to be done yet. They're going to keep fighting. Again, 23-28 remaining. It's a daunting task, but it's not an impossible task.
So Amadou Sy scoring in the 28th minute, 27th, 28th minute, and then scoring 20 minutes later in the 47th, and another 20 minutes later in the 67th. So if the pattern repeats itself, could be another late goal for Amadou Sy, but who knows? He does have the Hattie. Dangerous play there. If I had a hat on, I'd certainly throw it out my window. Sy has been masterful today. Now he's just that yellow card away from a triple-double. Certainly not a stat anyone ever keeps in soccer, but
No, but could be the start of something new,
Could
though.
be started here in Virginia Beach.
Started with the USCA, start the triple-double in soccer.
3 goals, 2 cards. 3 goals, 2 assists, maybe.
I mean, that's a full performance, though, on both sides of the ball. You score 3 times and 2 cards, probably for making defensive plays. So, what do you find that as a utility player? How would you justify that one?
Who's to say, you know? Certainly not me. So, Jeremy, it feels like all of the air has been sucked out of the Johnson and Wales forward line. They've had plenty of opportunities. They have had plenty of chances, and Cruz Sepulveda has just knocked them down time and time again. And as good as Sai has been, Cruz Sepulveda has been just as good on the opposite side playing defense. It certainly could be a 3-1, 3-2 game right now, if we're being perfectly honest.
It could be. And he wants to keep that shutout right now in the national championship game. That's a big thing for him. Big thing for any goalkeeper, really. Playing one of the biggest games of his career. Definitely want to keep that shutout. It'd be a nice little flower in the cap for tonight's match. Again, especially with his teammate having the hat trick in Amadou Sai. That, again, would just be the feather in the cap for tonight's performance from Berkeley.
Headbanger down to the turf. And they're back on the attack once more. Sai's going to call his own number.
And say, might have been able to find his teammate over here, looked like number 23 making the run. But was closed down by 3 Johnson and Wales players in the process and ends up getting fouled.
23 being Jean-Gardy Darano. Clock continues to tick, and really these final 20 feel as about as close to a formality as one could estimate. It has been all nights tonight.
Like Berkeley called for the offsides there. And Johnson and Wales is going to go quick on every restart now because now the clock is against them. They got to do something quick. And they need, if they're going to come back from a 3-goal deficit, they need something soon. Again, like Rob said before, the performance right now from the Berkeley keeper is the main reason that they've not been able to find the back of the net. They've had great free kicks, great shots, great opportunities, but an even better goalkeeper right now that's on the opposing side of the field that they're not able to break down just yet.
If it hasn't happened by now, it's going to take a fluke, it seems, for it to happen at all.
We have a Berkeley player down right here, right in front of us. Our defensive half of the field, you see him taking off his shin guards. Usually a sign that his night is done. Start stretching that knee a little bit. Having some discomfort in there.
This is the product of playing as many games as they do in the weekend. You get to the back half of a national championship game. This is 3 games now in 4 days, and you can condition all year for this weekend and still not be 100% prepared. As you come into the weekend as it is with ailing bodies, sore muscles, and aching bones, and you come out of the weekend with much of the same amplified, probably about 10. So these guys are going to continue to fight until the finish, 19 minutes and 34 seconds, until that finish is here in the finish line. Like I said, only about 20 minutes away. Jean-Gardy Darano walks off the field for what I would assume is the final time. Here in the 70th minute, the USCAA National Championship game between the Knights of Berkeley College, New York, and the Johnson & Wales University Wildcats from Charlotte, North Carolina. This JWU team falling in overtime in heartbreaking fashion just a year ago to the day. Veterans Day 2018 18. Penn State Brandywine took the championship, really snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat to Penn State Brandywine, as Johnson & Wales was well on their way to a championship. And they were just outplayed by a keeper who kept their team in the game, and Penn State Brandywine ended up holding on long enough to capitalize on a Johnson & Wales error. And tonight it has been clear that the Knights, led by Amadou Sy, with not one, not two, but 3 goals, have been the better team from top to bottom. The only thing harder than getting to the national championship is winning it, and that truth is all too apparent to the Wildcats of Johnson & Wales this evening. All that to say, they are a good enough team and a good enough program that would not be surprised to see them back on this pitch again a year from now.
Now, this is the second straight national championship game. Be looking to make it 3 next year, but look at an institution also. You can go like Bryan and Stratton that made it to 4 or 5 national championships in a row before they got their first one, and they got their first one last night in the men's Division I tournament. So, not the only ones in this boat, but right now, a little bit on the struggle bus right now, down 3-0 with under 18 to go. Got to get something going. Got to get something.
Like you said, certainly not the only ones in this boat, but it's not necessarily a boat anyone wants to be in. It's just unfortunate for the Wildcats that at the end of the day, somebody has to win. So we continue to count down to a night championship.
I'd say one thing that Johnson & Wales can take away from this match versus the one that they played in last year against Penn State Brandywine is that it was a much better performance, I think, overall as a team. They've cleaned up some mistakes. And granted, there's still a mistake in both one of the matches, but I mean, when you're playing against a player like Amadou Sy, I mean, you have to give him credit for his ability and what he brings as an athletic player onto this field as well. You don't typically see guys of that size with his athleticism. Great footwork right here from Johnson & Wales. Able to spin between 2 or 3 defenders and able to whip the ball across the box, but I don't really think his teammates were expecting him to make it out of that.
It was Zach Savage there that swindled that ball away.
And Johnson & Wales has not played bad in this contest. They've not played bad at all. They've had very good performance, but just their performance has been better from Berkeley, New York right now. But I definitely think that mistake early in the second for the second goal was definitely took the wind out of the sails for the Wildcats.
Certainly seems like it. Ball back.
And that's where you see a player like Amadou Sy, who could have just let that one run out, allowed Johnson & Wales to get possession, but uses his size to go up over the defender, win the header, and put it out and keep Johnson & Wales in their defensive half of the field. It's a great intelligence by the striker. A long ball played in. Keeper comes out. It's a good touch to it.
That ball was shot and just not on target. You could hear the Johnson & Wales forward screaming to shoot. And had that one been on target, it would very clearly be in the back of the net right now. But sometimes it's a little more difficult to hit the target than one would think.
Very much so. And that also reminds me of the play in the first half where they tried to chip him when Cruz came out unsuccessful. Now we've got to wonder, had that one found the back of the net, what would have been the outcome of this game? Because I believe that was still at 1-1. So that would have been a tied-up match at that point.
Into the final quarter hour of the contest, 15 minutes exactly on our clock here in Virginia Beach.
And good through ball. Here comes Amadou again, maybe looking for 4.
Sy on sides. He's going to do it himself, gives it up, and playing now an ultimately defensive game. There's only 2 forwards up for the Knights. Everybody else, the midfielders and defenders, sitting back because I think they at this point want the shutout as well.
Good little run of plays here from Johnson of Wales. Good swing to the far side, but well timed out of the air. Looking over his right shoulder, able to time that perfectly to gain control.
Switching field. Back to Cy. Good touch. Ball now thrown in. Hopping around. And Cy gets pushed back down by Tootle.
And Tootle knew what he was doing there, knew that he'd gotten beat. Just commits the foul far enough away to not be in immediate danger, but will allow Berkeley to get some cross in here.
So another opportunity for T. Charlie Verna. Verna, probably about 38 yards, about 40, 50 yards from the actual goal itself. Ball is up and tests the keeper, but no problem there for it yet.
I don't know if he's trying to cross that or shoot that one. Could have gone either way.
Clock stops and a card is coming. I think he knows it. That's a yellow for the Knight. I believe it's number 4 in white.
A simple tactical foul there committed by Berkeley. Johnson of Wales had the opportunity to go for a counterattack there. But good awareness by the Berkeley player. Brings the player down, takes the card. And allowed his team to get all their numbers back. Now have everybody behind the ball and only have one player and they're attacking off the field. That's Amadou Sy. And he's not going to be in there for much longer as this ball starts coming forward.
In fact, nobody's going to be in there for much longer. We've only got 12 minutes left to play, and unless some unlikely miracle occurs, which would arguably be one of the most incredible things I've ever seen,
100%, yes.
this one's all but over. That ball shot. Comeback starts with that, and it's pretty much been the sum of the comeback all day, just outside.
See Johnson and Wales makes another substitution. It's like Geiger returned, maybe? He took off the headband from the first half.
Who's to say? Temperature dropping here in Virginia Beach. Ball out of play. And the kickball ensues. Johnson and Wales will not go down without a fight. That is for sure. Come the other way. Sy's got a one-on-one opportunity. Ball out of play, and Sy will maintain possession. I'm not sure who the Knights are going to put up there to help Sy out, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a whole lot. They leave 6 back. So the Knights certainly outnumbered at the moment, and this is why. Comes the counterattack. And good defensive effort. And that ball forward. Here comes another opportunity. Cross up, break some ankles. Shot is deflected. Now to the 18, 20, 35, 50 now yards away from the goal, going back the other direction.
A wasteful opportunity there. They didn't really have numbers compared to Berkeley, but could have gone with a better option there. A little bit disorganized, a little unfunctional right now between the two teams. Again, Berkeley just kind of trying to break up the game.
Amadou Sy voicing his frustrations, and that's just a competitor in him. He's still continuing to want to pour it on. Now in the 80th minute, 10 to go on the clock. And here comes the 2-on-1 opportunity. That ball gets through. Now it's Sy on one. Sy's going to get by. He's going to get an opportunity to shoot. That one goes up and whoa, almost in the back of the net. It goes off the crossbar. And it looks like Vincent Dieppe got tripped up there and was just able to punch it over. But Cy almost had 4, and he said if the trend holds through, somewhere between the 87th and 90th, so he's just about 7 minutes too early, but wow.
I say there was another opportunity there. Keeper did well to get his feet adjusted and get his paw in there, hit it off the goalpost. Football goalpost, that is, which results in the corner, which we haven't taken right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all but 2. Wildcats in there and only 2. Knights in there.
And the Knights did send their 2 biggest bodies forward. Now kept everybody back, and I think that was the individual that just got booked a little bit ago for the same play.
At this point, I don't think the official, unless it's egregious, is going to be kicking anybody out of this game. There's no sense in it, no reason to.
No, the players have reacted well to all the calls been made tonight. There's been nothing egregious, nothing malicious happened out there. And it's good to see, especially in a national championship game with everything being on the line, that it doesn't turn to being a dirty match.
Certainly is the fear. Ball sent in.
It's a low-driven ball, but doesn't even get past the back line.
Offside's the call now, 8 minutes to go. I would certainly like to further congest my top right corner of the scorecard. He's all over the field, is Cy.
Yes, he's working for that tournament MVP right now. Putting the work, but here comes an opportunity for Berkeley if they want to add to their lead. Get the timing right.
Go ahead and just boot it out of play.
Now they do have a player down on the far side of the field. Didn't recognize that at first. I was wondering what he was doing, just playing the ball directly out of bounds.
7 minutes and 18 now. The clock continuing to run. Now it's stopped. I don't think the official's going to make any changes to that clock. At this point, why would you? And it looks like it's starting to set in here for some of the Wildcats. They aren't reconvening to adjust or make any adjustments. Just kind of sitting there, catching their breath, and they all look dejected. Hands on their hips or squatting. Kind of realizing that it's just not their day today.
Mm-hmm. And I do have that moment that's starting to set into them right now. Like you said, Rob, hands on the hips, a couple of them squatting down, jerseys over the face. It's unfortunate they're starting to see the writing on the wall right now.
Certainly felt like you could see it with the 2-goal lead. It is now abundantly clear with a 3-goal lead and twice as many minutes to go. That's going to require a goal every 120 seconds, and that's just not happening.
There's still with some pace and energy at the end of this. It was Charles does end up earning himself a corner in his teammates. Opportunity now for Berkeley to waste a few more minutes.
At this point, if I'm Berkeley, I'm just going to one-touch it inbounds and
hold it down there in the corner.
You might as well with 6:27 to go. Now, of course, I'm not Berkeley, and so they're going to put that ball in play and look for another side goal. And the counterattack ensues. I wouldn't even call it a counterattack, as the Knights, their attack there at the moment was relatively timid, shy, lethargic.
Yeah, he had no teammates running with him, no options for him to choose from.
Disinterested even?
A little bit, yes. A little bit, yes.
Under the 6-minute mark in this one, we have had a blast all weekend long calling these games, and we appreciate you joining us for the ones you've decided to join us for. We hope you have enjoyed the ride as well. following along with live stats and video coverage on our championship contests. Do want to encourage you to stay tuned in after the game for the all-tournament recognition awards, the awarding of the second place trophy and the national championship trophy to be awarded to the Knights. In just about 5 minutes time, they'll wrap this one up, call it a day, and we will all head home with our heads held high, knowing that this weekend was about as best as we could do.
Yeah, but we hope that both of the teams enjoyed themselves traveling here to Virginia Beach for USCA Fall Championship Week. Hope that both of these teams will be able to make the trip here next year, as we're going to be back here for 2020 and 2021 as well. So for any parents or spectators that are listening or watching in on this, if you weren't able to make the trip to Virginia Beach, go ahead and start looking at the dates for next year for 2020 and 2021, so you can come on down to the area and root on your team in person. I'd love to have you on the stream, but would love to have you here in the stadium as well.
Personally, I enjoyed entering into the living rooms of the families and friends watching these games. I hope they've enjoyed our commentary this afternoon and evening.
Yes, we hope you have enjoyed it. We apologize for any names that we might have butchered across the match so far, but excited that we're able to provide this to everybody at home that can't make the trip into the area, being able to watch it all across the world, be able to have it recorded.
Under 4 minutes now to go. At this point, why stop the clock again?
See, Berkeley does have two individuals up in the line, so they're going to make one final substitution. Got a feeling one of these may be for Amadou Sy. Give him his recognition before he leaves the field.
Again, Sy only a sophomore, so I expect this Berkeley team to be led by him. Again, this year he had 27 goals this year. Incredible. 60 points. So 27 goals, 6 assists. Another 3 today. I don't know how he did the rest of the tournament.
So he had 2 goals earlier in the tournament. So he stays up to 30 now, at a solid 30 for the season. I think any soccer player would be happy with that total.
32 with the 2 goals from earlier.
Correct, 32 actually. I stand corrected on that, yep. So 32 goals for one season, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
70 points.
And again, only a sophomore.
That's incredible.
Only a sophomore. He is something special. He is something special.
2 minutes and 39 seconds, so substitutes still waiting quite patiently. An offsides call. Who knows, they may not even get a chance to get into this game. The ball has to go out of play off of Johnson and Wales, so it's going to take something, and I don't know about that. That's got to be a card. The frustration from Tootle, I would imagine, is going to earn himself a card, one or the other, and it's a straight red. Tootle's day is done. So it's Tootaloo to Tootle, and they'll bring the trainer on, and with 2:18 to go, a pretty well-played match. You just can't have that lack of composure from Tootle. Obviously, the frustration.
But as a senior, though, you'd expect a little bit better from that.
Unfortunate for him. And that's a straight red to Gunnar Tootle in the, say, 87th minute. And he will just slowly but surely make his way to the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, it's a shame that this has to end his career, and this is the way it has to end. A tough loss going down 3-0 in a national championship game, but don't like to see that kind of reaction for anything, especially this late in the match. I understand the frustration, but still.
At this point, it just prolongs the suffering for your teammates.
Exactly. Now we're stuck here with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock, as Berkeley at this point, I mean, there's no doubt of what the result of this match is going to be. Now it's about the safety of another student athlete that's now having to be carted off the field a little bit.
And Sean Geiger going in, giving handshakes to some of his teammates, as it is also going to be Geiger's final contest. Tito Villanueva and Gunnar Tootle, the 3 seniors on this Johnson and Wales team. And crazy enough, not a single senior on the Knights roster. So it will be returning as is next season. Hard to believe. Continue to work through that injury. We continue to stall for time here. They've gotten him off the pitch. I don't see why we just don't continue and finish this game. The injured player is number 11 in white. That's Ryo Sugiyama. Or Sugiyama. And he'll continue to be tended to. The official will pull in another body as they're hustling across the field. I'm not sure who that is.
Like the head coach, Stravos.
Stravos Zamopoulos.
Did we get his 40 time on that?
I was about, I think probably like a 6'3", 40.
That was pretty good, though. Pretty good. I'll give him that.
Good hustle.
Yeah.
And now he's got to walk all the way to the other side of the field. I'm not sure what the purpose of that was.
He was just a little cold. He needed to warm up for a minute.
He's going to do the full jog around the corner. In the business, we call that taking a lap.
Yep. And then we're going to stop the clock one more time now for Berkeley to complete the substitutions. Looks like most of the seniors are going to be coming off the field. Actually, none of the seniors, but most of the starters and star players. One of them being the keeper, Dario Cruz Sepulveda.
And Cruz is likely going to be given a shutout here, obviously getting a little bit of help from Yusuf Figueroa in net, the only other goalie on this roster. And we stop the clock again. 1:58 to go. Free kick opportunity. Ball high. And beyond. We're under 2 minutes to go here in Virginia Beach. Another chance here for the Knights. They continue to push offensively. It's a 2-on-3 situation. That ball is pushed forward. And now under 90 seconds.
Berkeley continue to knock the ball around right now. Continue to go forward a little bit too. Maybe looking for a fourth. Is not necessary, but as we are now 5 seconds away from the 1 minute mark.
So the final 60 seconds of the game, we are in minute 90. After what has been an exciting match of soccer, at least for one side it has been.
Very much Berkeley looking for a foul there. Referee says no. We are 35 seconds away from ending this.
You could break your leg, and I don't think the official's going to stop the clock. 27 seconds now. Savage.
Say Johnson Wales would like to get one, but I think that may have been it. As we now under 20 seconds to go.
Ball out of play, a dangerous opportunity. And I don't think they're going to call a whistle, although he's writhing in pain on the far side. He continues to roll as if he's been set ablaze in a stop, drop, and roll situation, but that is all for naught. The clock expires, and the Knights have tamed the Wildcats of Johnson and Wales, and they are crowned national champions of the USCAA Division II. After a hat trick from Amadou Sy, goals in the 28th, 47th, and 67th minutes. He picks up 1, 2, and 3, and a 3-0 score is how we see it. The Knights are kings of the USCAA. As they continue to celebrate on the field. We continue our coverage here in Virginia Beach and want to remind you to stay tuned for the all-tournament accolades, second place trophy presentation, as well as championship winning trophy presentation to the Knights. And before we go ahead and call it a day for at least us up in the booth, Jeremy, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I'd just like to take this opportunity to congratulate both of the teams on a great season. Congratulations to Johnson and Wales on making it to back-to-back national championships. I'm sorry that you guys weren't able to bring home the trophy this year, but also a big congratulations to Berkeley College on bringing home the national championship for men's Division II soccer. Great season, great finish, great performances here when it all mattered in the national championship. Again, the hat trick from Amadou Sy, and we're going to continue our broadcasting coverage here during the awards ceremony. So stay with us. We'll be broadcasting all the way through the presentation. We're going through all tournament team, second place trophy, tournament MVP, medallions for each one of the student athletes as well for the winning institution, and then a national championship trophy presentation as well. So please stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. But that is it for Rob Smith and I. Rob, final words?
What a weekend.
Very much so.
What a weekend. We have had yesterday with the Division I championships, last-minute goals to claim titles. Today, quite the opposite, two dominating performances that we got to enjoy up here. And what a performance from Amadou Sy, as well as Dario Cruz Sepulveda with the shutout today, both of which on either side of the field certainly took care of business and did exactly what head coach Stavros Zamopoulos asked them to do today. And the Knights certainly earned it. Game-winning goal came in the 28th minute from Amadou Sy, and that was the only goal of the first half. Sy would pick up a yellow card just 4 minutes later, as would Carlos Veliz in the 43rd minute. And a 38th minute yellow card was awarded to the Wildcats to number 7 in blue, Chris Garcia, as the celebration continues for the Knights out on the field. Second half was much more interesting. Quite a number of yellow cards, I believe one for the bench, and a little bit later a goal in the 47th minute, or just before that bench card in the 47th minute, came a goal from Amadou Sy, and it was an errant pass out from Vincent Dieppe, the keeper for the Wildcats, that pushed that one out. It got deflected in an unfortunate manner, and it fell right into the lap of Amadou Sy, who was able to clean it up no problem. That second goal, simply insurance, wasn't necessarily needed, but put Sy on the track for a hat trick that he would complete 20 minutes later in the 67th minute. The absolute dagger, the nail in the coffin, whatever you want to call it, the hat trick goal for Amadou Sy came in minute number 67 off of a beautiful touch, and he just simply pushed it past the keeper Dieppe for his third goal of the match. A few more yellows would ensue and a red card to the end of the day from number 23, Gunnar Tootle, as he ended his day in the 87th minute as things got a little bit chippy. The Wildcats continued to push forward till the 90th minute, but just were not able to get anything past Dario Cruz Sepulveda, and that is your game wrap-up here for the USCAA Division II National Championship. Giving the championship trophy to the Knights in white tonight. They are number 1 in the USAAA Division II here in Virginia Beach, and that will conclude our audio coverage. We do want to remind you, as Jeremy said, to stay tuned and watch the all-tournament team recognition as well as the second place trophy presentation, and then following that, the Knights will hoist the trophy for the very first time. So for Jeremy Hudna, I'm Rob Smith, wishing you the smoothest of sailing until we meet again. Final score in this one, 3-0 Knights. And the Berkeley College of New York will walk home victorious. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.